And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Here, and it is Saturday, and you know what that means? It's time for the toy news, action figure news of the week that interested me, that hopefully interests you in a big week this week in toy news as we're ramping up, gearing up for San Diego Comic-Con. We got a lot of San Diego Comic-Con talk in the news this week, as you can imagine. But of course, we always start these off with a little bit of housekeeping. It is June. It is the Patreon June giveaway. Matt, Nick Jackson, Walmart exclusive. One Patreon member will win this. So check out the Patreon link in the description down below. Appreciate all the support over there on Patreon. That is the giveaway. We'll give that away here in about a week or so, and then we'll move on to a July giveaway. Got to decide what that's going to be, so stay tuned to that as well. But shout out to all the Patreon members over there for all the support on the channel. Truly appreciated, and truly appreciated all the birthday wishes this week. Thanks to everybody that sent me a nice message online. It was my birthday this week. Been talking about it. G.I. Joe June, my birthday. Peanut butter jelly going together. Oh, of course it does. But very exciting birthday party for me this year. I did go to Costco and I did have a pizza. That was my dinner. That was my party that night. It's kind of the way it goes when you're no longer a kid anymore, I guess. And now that I'm 22 years old, I don't know what I do from here. But I guess we'll figure it all out, of course. But thank you once again for all the birthday wishes. However, got to bring it over to Todd McFarland on the couch. Todd, never heard anything from you. However, good friend of the channel, Mark Summers, also here today. Mark Summers, you couldn't have been nicer to me on my birthday. He gifted me this special shirt. Look at this. Super sloppy Double Dare. I'm all about the sloppiness. We're here for the sloppy. But Mark Summers sending me this shirt for my birthday. I thought that was a really cool thing, Mark Summers. Todd McFarland, I can't believe you're on this couch all the time. You couldn't even bother to give me a birthday gift? He said no. However, he said he's working on something. He said he'd tell me tomorrow. Tomorrow? You mean in weekly purchases? Oh, I guess stay tuned to weekly purchases tomorrow. Todd McFarland said he has a special gift for me. So we'll see what's going on with that there. Well, what, Mark? Mark said he's not done? You're not done with the birthday gifts for me? You're not going to slime me or something, are you? Oh, I didn't think you would, Mark. You're too good of a guy for that. You're a classy individual, unlike Mr. Todd over there. We'll see what happens tomorrow, Todd. But Mark, you said you got another gift for me? Oh, you got a little footage? Okay, well, roll the tape.
Today, we're here at your party where we've secretly replaced your birthday cake with Donny Osmond.
Happy birthday, Kyle. This one's for you.
Kyle, it's your birthday. Time to celebrate and sing about who? You. Come on, Kyle. It's your birthday. Time to sing and shout. Come on, it's what you gotta do. Break it down. Add another candle. Another year, it's true. You're 40-something years. Sure looks good on you. Oh, Kyle, it's your birthday. Let's all dance and sing and shout your name. Oh, Kyle, it's your birthday. The music's hot, it's time to rock. This birthday party won't stop. Come on, Kyle.
Whoa! Oh my gosh, Donny Osmond. I don't know if Donny Osmond's my guy, but I definitely appreciate the sentiments right here. Very cool. Mark Summers' personal friend of yours, Donny Osmond. Donny Osmond's on your couch right now. Oh, the couch circle of life. It'll just go around and round and round. I wonder who's on Donny Osmond's couch. But man, that's very nice of you to send me Donny Osmond birthday greetings. Could he play Crazy Horse? Do we know Crazy Horse? Do you guys know Crazy Horse? That's probably the best Osmond song of all time.
Crazy Horse.
Man, Oh boy, it's almost as close to heavy metal as you'll get. But Mark, the hits keep on coming like a young Mike Nesmith, of course, great friend of both of us, sadly passed away as we know. But Mark, I do appreciate the shirt. I appreciate the message. Todd McFarland, you're on the birthday clock. There it is. How about that? But now let's dive into the toy news this week, and let's start with some wrestling. Whoa! Stop the clock. Friday afternoon, late breaking news. Ace, can you believe this? Lemmy, Domino, I got all the friends right here hanging out with me as it's ball time. It's fetch time right now. But whoa, stop the clock if there ever was one. Late breaking wrestling news Friday afternoon from Mattel. Ringside collectible exclusive. Rick Scott Steiner, of course, the story of two brothers that don't do drugs and they're always on top. We know all about the Steiner brothers, but Rick and Scott Ultimate Editions coming to Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Quite the weekend here as AETV, the channel over there, they're going to have a biography on them this weekend. So man, oh man, the Steiner brothers Ultimate Editions. This is what we've been hoping for a long time. Cannot wait to get these. Multiple heads, all the Ultimate Edition stuff. You get the Letterman jackets there, obviously without the M. Somebody better get working to put those M logos on there. I'm sure some third-party company will do that. But Rick and Scott, man, I'm excited about this one. Can't wait to get these on the table. Each one are going to have 2 extra heads, so 3 heads total. I'm going to have to buy multiples of these Steiner brothers, I do think. But man, oh man, 2 Ultimates we've desperately needed. Cannot wait to get those. Have to imagine we'll see them in San Diego Comic-Con, so can't wait to see a little bit more of that here in the near future. But we weren't done. Mattel also showed off the Target Ultimate Edition Vader, of course, regular and Chase Edition. You know me, I love Cape Season as much as Lando Calrissian, so we're getting a Cape Season Vader once again. 2 different singlet colors there, but he does got that old school WCW World Heavyweight title, which is pretty awesome as well. So man, things on a Friday afternoon coming up. Ultimate. Yes, wrestling, the bread and the butter here, along with G.I. Joe, of course. Defining Moments, Ringside Collectible Exclusive, got some pretty promotional images this week. Have to imagine these are on our way probably in August, July, August, something like that. We'll see what ends up happening, but usually once we see this kind of stuff, it's a couple weeks later. So be on the lookout, but we did see RVD, 2 title belts with this RVD, a very cool looking RVD as well. Not sold on the head scan on this, and I think this might be the Monday Night Wars head scan. Don't own that one yet, but we'll see what happens. Of course, there'll be comparisons when the time frame comes. LA Knight back again. I don't know. Something feels weird about him being in a defining moment. It just seems way too soon to me. Your mileage may vary on that one. And his head sculpt, I'm not sure. But once again, once we get him at the table, we'll see what all the fuss is about. CM Punk, we're at the anniversary of this moment. That was all over social media this week. The pipe bomb incident. Never forget. But CM Punk, a lot of people are going to want. And this is looking like possibly the first CM Punk figure we will get. Unless that main event one squeaks in. We'll see what happens there. And then really probably the crown jewel of this set is Kane. Of course, the big red machine we've had numerous times over the years. There's not a ton of meat on the bone here. The meat on the bone is the flame effect to the arm, which is pretty cool moment in time. But also the flame effects for the ring post. If you have that raw ring, you stick those on each corner. I think that is a pretty cool effect piece there. So I think that Kane one is going to be the sleeper of the set and possibly my favorite of the set just because of the accessories he does come with. Looking very good. So we'll be on the lookout for the defining moments. Superstars 111, yes, 111. We got the Sandman ×2. Very excited. It really warms my ECW heart to get the Sandman here. We even got old school like America 4th of July Sandman, we'll call it, I guess, this one here. But very cool to get Sandman regular and Chase. Also Finn Balor, which actually warms up on me in the pictures. Looks better than it originally did, I do feel. So Finn Balor a part of that set. Ricochet, last time in the line. Maybe. We'll see what happens there. We got Ricochet there. Tony D'Angelo from NXT. I'm here for more NXT people. Get me Chase U. Where's Chase U? Get me Chase U Elites or at least Basics. Hopefully we see some of that at San Diego Comic-Con. I want the Andre Chase. Get me the Andre Chase. I need that in my collection. Trish Stratus finally making up for that god-awful figure from about 2 years ago. What is time once again? We're getting a new Trish Stratus here. And then we're getting Cody Rhodes back in the saddle again. Cody Rhodes, no stranger to any toy line lately. Getting another Cody Rhodes once again. So stay tuned for that. Can't wait to see old Cody Rhodes back in Elite 111. But we're not done with Mattel. They're really showing us a lot of stuff. Makes you wonder what we're going to see at San Diego Comic-Con. But we did see the Walmart exclusive Superstars Series 11. The most frustrating toy line to collect in the game right now. We did see, of course, Rey Mysterio, WCW Rey Mysterio, looking very good right there. Razor Ramon, also the chase in this series, so two very colorful Razor Ramon figures. And then another one that's really a 2-in-1 figure. Once again, it is the Zodiac. Of course, Zodiac, you can have him as Brutus Beefcake or straight up WCW Zodiac. Choose your own adventure. For me, I'm going to need 3 of those, 1 on card, 1 to each look loose. So the wallet, I'll have to open it back up, I guess, on that one. But very interesting. Still looking for the last 2 series of Superstars. I haven't seen Ali and Kane, and then the Tatanka Big Boss Man sets. Those ones have been nowhere in my area or probably your area either. Hopefully that distribution gets caught up and things get fixed with that. Like I said, the most difficult, challenging line to collect in this day and age seems to be the Superstars line, if you ask me. But speaking of challenges, how about pre-order time? July 1st, right around the corner next week to be exact. Powertown Ultra Series 2. Powertown, you know, they always, it's always something with them, I guess. And we get delays, we get long announcements, things like that. But it all goes to sale on July 1st, and they're doing a pretty cool job of rolling out the pictures each day of some of these new figures. Of course, we got Kamala, the Ugandan Giant. A very cool one here. A lot of people looking for this Kamala, of course. Jack Briscoe. Haven't had a Jack Briscoe figure since, of course, Jack's Classic Superstars. Wahoo McDaniel. Oh my gosh, we need Wahoo. We're so overdue for a Wahoo McDaniel figure. It's unreal. So excited about that one. The Junkyard Dog had a lot of JYDs. I think it was a beautiful move to go with the baby blue tights on that one. Looks really good. I'm here for JYD. Medusa, going to be a very interesting one as well. And then the one I've been asking for, it's been at the top of my want list for years, Dory Funk Jr. I know he's not flashy, he's not all that, but I'm a Terry Funk guy, I'm a Funk family guy. We needed a Dory Funk Jr. figure for a long time. He is too big of a star back in the 60s and 70s to not have an action figure ever. We're finally getting that. Could we possibly get a Terry Funk in Powertown in the future? That would be something. But I love the idea of a Dory Funk Jr. Give me 100 Dory Funk Jr.'s. That's what I want. 100, no more, no less. Just get me 100 Dory Funk Jr.'s. But looking very, very good there. So Powertown Ultra Series 2 shaping up to be really good. Of course, you know I'm going to pre-order that set. July 1st is the pre-order for that. How about a little retro wrestling? We did see Zombie Sailor Toys going in. Showed us a picture of Tajiri. So Tajiri, we talked about that coming in September. The order will be the order, apparently. It'll all be shipped and ready to go when it does go up for pre-order. So I guess we'll stay tuned to that in the future. But they showed off a little Tajiri action. Also announced this week the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. Big Bully Busick, oh, with a mustache you can set your watch to. And, of course, Chris Candido, part of the Triple Threat back in the day. Very cool to get both of those guys. So I guess they're going to be shipping around San Diego Comic-Con, so be ready for those as well. We did hear this week Colt Cabana ×3 up for order, not pre-order, order right now from Figure Collections. 3 different versions of Colt Cabana, very similar to Grapplers and Gimmicks this week. We unboxed 3 different versions of Wild Man Mark Marrow. Did we need 3 Colt Cabanas? Did we need 3 Mark Marrows? Well, I think it comes down to production, getting the most out of your molds. We know how that goes, so we do see those coming in. Don't forget, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It is up for pre-order right now. Epic Toys, their latest wave. So if you're interested in any of these guys, you better pick those up right now. Sounds like Diamond Dallas Page shipping here in a couple of weeks as well, so should be cool to have Diamond Dallas Page in the retro style. We'll be unboxing that on the channel, so stay tuned to that. Moving over to some other stuff, AEW Collect Forever, which are pretty cool figures all in all. I really like the whole presentation and kind of the acrylic-like case. Maybe it is acrylic. I don't know my plastics, I guess. But I like how it looks. Well, they announced Hangman Adam Page this week. 1 of 100, or 1 of 1,000, I should say. Not setting a lot of worlds on fire, of course. There's not a lot going on here. It's more about the presentation, it seems like. Not sure what the value of these will be over the years. You really can't unbox them. I mean, you could if you wanted to. It'd be a lot of work. But it is what it is. But we've got the Hangman coming. If you're after that one, he is up for order right now. Pre-order, I guess. And that's it for wrestling, but we got some big heavy hitter stuff to talk about now. San Diego Comic-Con stuff. And Marvel, G.I. Joe, Jurassic Park, NECA, a lot of them getting in the San Diego Comic-Con game this week as we're inching closer and closer to San Diego Comic-Con. And I will be there this year, so if you come see me, say hi, I'll be around. Checking out all the stuff, of course. But we did see this week, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for this. You guys know I love my G.I. Joe. I also love Cobra Law. I know a lot of people hate Cobra Law. I'm all in on Cobra Law. But we are getting Once Was a Man Cobra Commander. One of the greatest moments in cinematic history. Yes, you heard it here first. coming from a guy one class away from a minor in film, one of the greatest scenes of all time, Cobra Commander, he takes that faceplate off and you see that snake face. Oh my gosh, time stood still right then and there when I was a little kid. But how cool is this Cobra Commander? I am all in on this, cannot wait. Hopefully it leads us down to the Globuluses. We know Nemesis Enforcer's on the way. Don't call him Immortal, he's an Enforcer. We got him around the corner. And it looks like on the back of the package, we do see Globulus. So Globulus is going to be a deluxe figure in the future. Get me those guards, get me Pythona. Oh my gosh, get me the BET. Get me the BET, I need it. It's not just the Chibi channel anymore. I'm here for all that stuff from G.I. Joe the movie. Get me Big Lob, need Big Lob, get me all those guys. I cannot wait. Give me Slaughter's team. I want those guys as well. Get me Mercer, an all-time favorite of mine. Could go down the rabbit hole for days, but man, once was a man Cobra Commander, an all-timer. Cannot wait to get this. And I love the little extra snake they put in there when he changed into that snake. One of the creepiest things ever. Got these little arms, and he's got the snake. Oh my gosh, wild. Will we get an updated roadblock to go with this? That would have been kind of cool as a little 2-pack, but we probably all got that roadblock. We remember roadblock warming those pegs for years. Everybody's got a roadblock by now, I'm sure. But man, oh man, I am excited for this one. Can't wait to pick this one up at San Diego Comic-Con. Might even need 2 of these in my collection. Looking very good, but the Marvel Legend team wasn't going to be outdone, but they were outdone. I will tell you that. We did get Death Head, not quite comparable to Cobra Commander, I think, in popularity. An interesting one, but probably a good San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It's weird, I know Death Head 2, I guess, because I remember that comic book from collecting comic books. It seemed to be everywhere at the time. This is the older school Death Head, I guess, and he was originally like a Transformer or something, which is wild crossover right there. But that'll be the Marvel Legend exclusive at San Diego Comic-Con, so if you're after Death Head, he'll be up for sale as well. One that came out of left field this week from Mattel was Jimmy Buffett, of all things, in the Jurassic Park line. This is the 3 3/4 line here, and I don't collect that. We don't usually talk about that, but thought that was worth mentioning. Jimmy Buffett getting a figure, and apparently Jimmy Buffett was in the movie. I didn't even realize that either. I probably saw Jurassic Park once, like when it came out, and I never saw it again. I mean, I was never a dinosaur kid. I wasn't a dinosaur, toy trucks, a Hot Wheels, Matchbox kid. I was all action figure kid. So you're kind of in 2 different groups a little bit a lot of the time. But I didn't know Jimmy Buffett was a part of it, but this is a crossover appeal. This is what they're looking for at San Diego Comic-Con. You got to get those parrot heads involved. Maybe my dad will need a Jimmy Buffett. I remember as a little kid, rocking out to Cheeseburger in Paradise in the car. Oh my gosh. Jimmy Buffett's greatest hits was a staple when I was a kid. And Jimmy Buffett, an interesting musician. Is he country? Is he rock? Is he like the Grateful Dead? What is he? I don't know. He is dead, though. He did pass away recently, but a nice tribute to Jimmy Buffett. I think the parrot heads out there will need this in their collection, so an interesting one if there ever was one. And speaking of interesting ones, we are getting Too Bad as the Masters of the Universe, I guess, cartoon collection exclusive for San Diego Comic-Con. Too Bad, an all-timer. This is one of those ones that's confusing, too. Do you need a mint-on-card one? Do you need one in each form, and then do you need one to combine them into Too Bad? There's a lot of mixing and matching going on in this one, and it kind of messes with your head a little bit as well. Looks very good. Looks like the execution is very good as well. Going to be a very interesting one, so we'll look forward to getting that one here at San Diego Comic-Con as well along the way. Very cool to see that. So more to come on those and unboxings on those in the future. You guys know how that goes. Todd McFarland, as of filming right now, he's released one thing, and it is a DC Multiverse Superman statue, kind of a bronze statue there with comic book at the show. So it'll be interesting to see how well these McFarlane ones do. Last year, I think we had 3 exclusives for San Diego Comic-Con. So far, this is one. Have to imagine we'll have some more. Who knows? By the time this is up, we might have already had them announced, because Todd likes to announce things on Saturday when nobody's working. It's a weird thing. But Todd does himself from the couch. He does what he wants to do over there. And he's apparently working on a birthday present for me. So can't wait to see that tomorrow. Stay tuned once again. We also saw NECA exclusives. We already talked about all those the last couple of weeks. They all went up for pre-order on NECA Online. I had no issues day one getting in there. I got all 3 things I needed. Moved on. Don't have to get them at the show. They'll come to me here. That's all right, because the shipping and lugging around, nobody wants to do that. So we did get that going on. We did see Mikeys Pizza pop-up. Last year, Super 7 had a pop-up of a G.I. Joe store inside their store. They kind of converted it to G.I. Joe. Sounds like this year they're converting it to Dungeons & Dragons, and they're also, I guess, renting out a pizza place there, and they're going to have a Mikeys Pizzeria. They're going to have slices, things like that. That's speaking of my pizza-loving turtle heart, so I'm going to go get me a slice somewhere around there. I think it's only going to be one day, so I'm going to have to jump in there, get a part of that. More to come, and hopefully some footage from that as well, so stay tuned to that. And I'm sure we'll officially get a lot of Super 7 announcements probably in next week's weekly Toy News next week, easy for me to say. We'll probably hear official results of what's coming out from Super 7. Been a lot of leaks, a lot of rumors going on. We've even shown some of those over the last month or so. I'm guessing next week maybe that'll be all officially announced, so we'll stay tuned to that as well. And then that's it for San Diego for this week. But moving on to another couple of things. Todd McFarland, once again, got to bring him up. We are getting a Walmart exclusive Vampire Shazam for the DC vs. Vampires line. A favorite line of me and my collecting. I do enjoy that line a whole lot. So we got that coming. And we also got Max Mercury from Flash. I don't know this character at all, but that's the fun thing about the multiverse, DC multiverse. Learning a lot of characters on these unboxings. And of course, over on Kyle Peterson 2.0. Make sure you're subscribed to that YouTube channel for all these Todd unboxings. A lot of fun stuff over there. Some other miscellaneous news this week, and something that bowled me over on Saturday when it first came out of G.I. Joe Fest last week. Fresh Monkey Fiction is doing a Cops and Crooks line, 6-inch scale line. Oh my gosh, my heart can't take much more this week. Two of my most wanted figures, right at the top of my list, Cops and Crooks, Dory Funk Jr., both getting officially announced this week. It's a beautiful birthday week. It's truly a birthday present to me. I've talked about it. When I was a kid, the Cops and Crooks line and cartoon, an absolute favorite of mine, but I had to admire the toy line from afar. My dad, you only have so much money for a kid, and I was collecting the Joes and the He-Man, and of course the wrestling, and something's got to give. My dad's like, we're not getting another collection. We're not getting Cops and Crooks, so I had to admire them from afar. But no longer. I will be getting these Cops and Crooks figures. Gonna rewrite that wrong all these years later in a new scale and a new look. Can't wait for these. They did show off Bulletproof, the head honcho there of the Cops team. Can't wait to see where this line goes in the future. Very, very excited about this one. A lot of people, I think, share the same sentiments as I do about Cops and Crooks. I'm here for it. Can't wait to see those officially at the table right here. One I don't think you'll see at the table for me is Angela Lansbury. Murder, She Wrote herself. Stage and screen star, of course, many years, but most people knowing her for Murder, She Wrote from people in my age bracket, I guess. I don't think I ever watched one episode of Murder, She Wrote. That was not for me from the get-go. We remember the Raw lead-in back in the day. We'd see a couple of minutes, and that was more than a couple of minutes I needed. But we are getting a fully clothed figure of her and a Toonie Terrors. Not for me at all. Those don't work for me at all, but I think some people want them. Kind of in the same aspect people wanted the Golden Girls. You could have the Golden Girls and Angela Lansbury team up and they could solve crimes together. Who knows? But that is coming from NECA. And speaking of NECA, we got another Earl Sinclair figure hitting stores right now. It's a We Say So worker. It's kind of him in his worker gear. We also know last week we talked about the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version of him in his superhero getup. So we're getting Earl Sinclair ×3 between the one we already unboxed on the channel. How many dinosaur figures do we need? I think most people want the rest of the family before we get all these Earl Sinclairs. Is what it is. You got to get the most out of your molds. We know how that does go as well. And then the final piece of the puzzle this week, Mezco just announced a Commando Snake Eyes around the corner. So that's an interesting one. I have the Mezco Snake Eyes right over here to the side. It's on my long game unboxing list. I just recently unboxed the Storm Shadow. Haven't taken the glamour shots for that yet, but we'll get that video up on Patreon hopefully this week sometime. Stay tuned to that. A lot of content coming on the Patreon. You'll see tomorrow weekly purchases is a huge weekly purchase. A lot of stuff going to carry us the next month or so of unboxing. So a lot of stuff to come in weekly purchases. But that's it for the toy news, which means only one thing. We got to turn our attention to the album of the week. All right, album of the week time, and this week we go to good friends of the channel. We go to the band called The Sound of Urchin, and many people probably don't know The Sound of Urchin. It's an interesting sound, The Sound of Urchin, of course, but what up, my man, Tomato 11, the lead singer and drummer. Love a band that has the lead singer as the drummer. Tomato 11, Reverend B. Ill on guitar. And I don't know who the rest of the band is anymore. They've been dormant for a while, but they got some new music coming, some new tours coming. And way back in the day when my wife and I first got together back in like 2000 or 2004, I guess it would have been, we went to tons of their shows. 2005, we went to New York City, went to their boat show. Big fan, of course, kind of under the Ween umbrella in a lot of ways, if you're familiar with the band Ween. But good old hard rock and some heavy metal as well. And the Sound of Urchin used to always do Slayer songs. You could call out Slayer and they would play a Slayer song. Always a good time. A lot of great shows over the years. And this week, the album of the week, is the album The Diamond. Is out their third, fourth album, something like that. They have a lot of EPs as well. But the Diamond is great, heavy metal, hard rock, a little bit of everything going on in that album. And a nice trip down memory lane for my wife and I as we saw so many shows on that tour. Nothing but a good time when the Sound of Urchin's involved. So you maybe never heard of them, but it might be worth checking out. Check out The Sound of Urchin. The album is The Diamond. And that is the toy news of the week. What interested you? What are you excited for? Anything good out there you're excited for in the toy news? Let me know in the comments down below. Stay tuned tomorrow for weekly purchases for an all-timer episode. It really is. Check that out tomorrow or early on Patreon. It's up there already if you're a Patreon member. A couple days ago it was up, so there it is. But we do got the weekly purchases tomorrow. Of course, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. Of course, you guys know Patreon, the place to be. We got the giveaway going on. If you want to get a part of that, head over to Patreon. Pro Wrestling Tees, search Kyle Peterson. My book, I still have one hardcover left, so if you want it for $100 shipped, $35 cheaper than Barnes & Noble, hit me up on instant message, whatever you want to do. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and Instagram. And of course, everybody that celebrates, have a good 4th of July this week, and we'll be back next week on the Toy News Weekly Purchases Weekend Bookend Combo. But until then, you know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling into another weekend.